Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Extinct Bricks Originals! And for this very special episode, we will be featuring the LEGO costume Jurassic World Dominion Moros Intrepidus. But before we go on with this video, I'd like to say thanks to youtube.com audio library for this awesome background music. Please also like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And to be able to support my channel, please do not skip on all the ads on all my videos. Thanks everyone! You may also like to follow me on all my social media platforms. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LYKA. There I'll be posting some of my exclusive photos and video clips as well. So I'll see you there everyone! The guest SPC contest winners will be announced later, but for now, let us move on to the making of the Moros Intrepidus. And fast tracking on the customization, I actually used a base figure that is a small raptor, and then included several sculpting details such as feathers on the body, the tail, and even the legs. I also changed the overall sculpt of the head also, and included several proto feathers on the neck of this particular dinosaur. And now it's time for us to paint. So what we will be doing, of course, we'll be looking at the references, and this is actually a screenshot of the teaser from Jurassic World Dominion, the Moros Intrepidus. It is actually eating or feeding from the teeth of the Giganotosaurus. You can see that there are white spots on the face. Most probably those are the unfeathered ones. Also bluish coloration on the legs and underbelly of this particular dinosaur. Then the rest are actually feathered. Okay, so the feathers are more looking like brown to me. It might be black, but nonetheless, we'll take it as is. So first up, I'm coating the entire figure with base acrylics, which is, for this one, I'll be using white. So when base coating figures, you might want to, wait for several minutes before applying the second coat on it. This actually gives the figure a uniform coat to it, so that it'll be easy for you to start on the details of the other painting. So I figured that I added a little bit yellow so that it will have this particular sunset feel to it. And then with that, I'm starting on, applying several coats of white on the underbelly, because technically this will have that particular paint scheme to it. The underbelly, even the head part of this particular dinosaur will have lighter colors on those parts. And then of course, the rest of the colors, which are more on the feathers, would be darker colors, or probably brown to almost black, I guess. So it seems that the feet are also within that same color scheme, so we're painting those also. And now it's time for some more details. So I mixed a little bit of black with browns, and we'll start off from there. One of the issues that I have encountered during this particular project would be the images that I have for references are very few, and it is not very exact because, in terms of cinematography, I know there are light adjustments to it because it's a sunset setting, so the colors may be obscured at this point. Well, nonetheless, we have to continue on with this particular project. So with that, I actually mix a little bit of lighter browns to it just to give it that interest rather than just having it more dark. Okay, so here is it so far. So what we need to do now is just add several more details to it. So one of the details that I wanted to include here would of course be individual colorings of the quills on the neck area. So I figured those are actually whitish, but in the end I colored them brown anyways because it just looks a little bit messy to me. And as with Lego figures, the simpler the better. Okay, now, so let's now move on to the highlights of this particular figure. I noticed that there are actually blue portions on it, including the legs as well as the thighs, and a little bit the sections on the chest areas of this particular dinosaur. So I included those colors as well. And as with my other theropods, I actually use or create more interest by placing scales of different colors on the feet. This more represents like that of the chicken and other birds for that matter, wherein the scales are actually very prominent. Okay, so in the reference photo that I'm using, the Moros actually has this reddish parts on his head. If you're going to take reference into modern birds, they most represent those of the vulture or even the modern day turkey. These are actually seen more in male counterparts. I don't know why, probably for display when they are courting the female counterparts. I'm actually amazed at how accurate some of the dinosaurs were actually depicted in the new teaser for Jurassic World Dominion. And I noticed that even the Oviraptor had several, nuances and actions that are very similar to modern day birds. So I'm really hyped for the movie. What do you guys think? I think the teaser is very informative, and not only that, it also gives us that vibe of you really have to watch the movie or else. If you haven't seen the full trailer or the full teaser of Jurassic World Dominion, I guess you have to really look into YouTube, and probably some have already uploaded a few videos, although they're not very clear. You might want to do that as well. I really wanted to go out and see the movie for Fast and the Furious 9, but cinemas here in the Philippines are not yet open, so that's a bummer, but that's okay. I was actually able to watch the full trailer in YouTube, so although it's not very clear, I'm satisfied with it. Among the new dinosaurs that we see, there would be the Dreadnoughtus, the Oviraptor, the Iguanodon, and even the Giganotosaurus. Oh yeah, and the Quetzalcoatlus actually gained her debut during that particular teaser. So I'm really excited really for the movie. It will be shown on December of 2022, so I'm really excited for it. Well, I guess this is all for the details of the Moros. Of course, I need to color on several more details, such as that of the insides of the mouth, the teeth, the nails of this particular dinosaur, and probably will go back to some of the coloring details on the feathers. I'm not too keen on having all layers on this feathering. I prefer it to be more simple rather than very elaborate for such a small creature. Initially, I opted to have more details, such as including several more detailing on the feathers, but in the end, I actually recolored it and made it a little bit more simpler than it is what you see here. But that's really up to taste, but you can change it if you want to. that's all we got for the making of this Moros Intrepidus. Let's now announce the Kisses PC contest winners, and let's start with the lucky picks. Miguel Philip, Best Rexy, Maxim, Rich Arvin, Ellie Joriel, Cezanne, CBO6, Mikhail, Billy, and Kasovu. Congratulations everyone, and now for top 10 winners.
Top 10.
Aiden Stevenson, John LYKA Galicia,
Top 8.
Gabriel Connolly,
Top 7.
Mimic Production,
Top 6.
Chris Silla,
Top
Red
5.
Dude,
Top 4.
Jacques Lolo Customs,
Top
Mandy Amar,
Top 2.
Mechanic Tiger, and
Top
Colton Time.
1.
Congratulations everyone, and I'll see you on the next Guess PC contest. For those of you who'd like to join, here's how. Just click on the Extinct Bricks icon and it will lead you to the Extinct Bricks homepage. And in that homepage, just click on the community link and it will lead you to all my posts. Bye Moros! Well, it's now time for us to do Assembrix. Look into it and let's bolt in. So let's count it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 parts to it. Let's start by connecting the head to the lower jaw of this particular figure. I'm trying to be careful not to, destroy all the sculpting details that I have. Now let's connect this one to the body. Let's start for the arms. The arms will have 2 fingers to it, very much similar to that of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now it's time for the legs. Let's start off with the right one. And then with the left. Oops. And lastly, the tail piece. And there you have it. A fluffy dinosaur, Moros Intrepidus. Let's now move on to the closer look of this particular dinosaur. Ooh, Mora is chasing off after the Moros. Unknowingly, they would be going to the mouth of the Giganotosaurus. Well, this is actually based off from the Moros Intrepidus that we've seen in the trailer of Jurassic World Dominion. It's more of a teaser actually. Moira is actually really excited for this one and also excited for the movie. So we decided this is going to be Jurassic World Dominion teaser week, where we actually started off with the Let's Draw video, and then the next would be some of my customs. First off would be the Moros, of course. And now let's have a closer look on this one. Let's remove it from its base. And taking a look closely, you can see that the Moros is actually a small theropod and is very similar to that of the Tyrannosaurus Rex because of some features. It has 2 little fingers on the end of its hands. It also has this very T-Rex-like shape of the head. The teeth is also very similar to that of the T-Rex with the same shape to it. It has 2x3 studs. They are actually mini studs. And it is actually covered with some downy feathers on it, including that of the head and neck region. This particular Moros has several articulations to it, although it's very small. Among the staple articulations would be, of course, the opening and closing of its mouth. It can also move its neck, looking from right to left. Also, the arms are movable, the legs as well as the tail parts. Although I'm not so sure of the coloration of the Moros, this is actually based off from what I see in the actual teaser trailer, and I think we really did some good job on it. I made it a little bit simple but fierce nonetheless. Well, that's it for the closer look on the Moros. Let's now move on with the size comparisons of this figure. And of course, for this one, I'm bringing back here Moira to be compared with the Moros. And although the Moros here is, a little bit large, for a size comparison with Moira, I think if it were to be recreated by InGen, it's going to be larger anyway. So the actual size of the Moros is actually shown in this particular photo. It's a little bit smaller than that of the human, but it is actually long. Okay, so let's move on to the next comparison. This is the Extinct Rex Proceratosaurus. The Proceratosaurus is actually one of the earlier Tyrannosaurids. It is from the Proceratosaurid family, but under the same group of families that is under the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Up next would be the Extinct Rex Eutyrannus. The Eutyrannus is very similar to the Moros because it also has feathers on it. Okay, so this particular creature is definitely larger than that of the Moros and is still also part of the Tyrannosauridae family. It is actually adorned with very colorful coloration on the crest on the top of its head and also on the eye region as well. Alright, so that's it for our Eutyrannus. We can now move on to the next of the comparisons. Let's have a Tyrannosaurid from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, the Teratophonius. The Teratophonius is a small Tyrannosaurid which you have actually seen in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. It is seen as a carcass there, and it's left dying, I guess, from either of starvation or from something else, probably an attack from a bigger carnivore. Okay, so you can see here that this is more healthier than the what you've seen in the movie or from photos. Well, okay, so that's it for the Teratophonius. And one of the more known Tyrannosaurids is the Tarbosaurus. So the Tarbosaurus here is actually based off from the colorations that we've seen in Jurassic World Alive. This was a color scheme that was requested from before, and although it's not my very most favorite one, I might change the color scheme or do a remake of the Tarbosaurus someday. So what do you guys think? Well, anyways, we can now move on to the next of the comparisons of the Tyrannosaurus family. This is the Albertosaurus. The Albertosaurus is actually based off from one of the color schemes in Jurassic World Evolution. I think it's a really actually fierce combination of what a leopard looks like, a clouded leopard one, and also a dinosaur. So I really like this color scheme, but I might make changes as well. And lastly, this is the Extinct Rex Buck T-Rex, or the Tyrannosaurus Rex. The Tyrannosaurus Rex is actually definitely larger than that of the Moros, and although it's seen actually in the movie with also adorning downy feathers, I might not do that, but we'll see. If you do request it, we might do one accurate T-Rex with feathers, but I think from most of your comments, a T-Rex with feathers is not really one of the favorites. Well, let's move on with this PC roll call. So we have here everyone from what you've seen before, and if you do have additional, requests of other Tyrannosaurs, you may want to, comment them down below. Don't be shy, guys. There are actually several more species that are not yet here, such as small ones like the Guanlong and bigger ones as well. We would also like to remind everyone, of course, Moira here and the rest, that all of these creatures that you see here are actually available in the Extinct Rex playlist. I'll be putting up some links down below for you to easily, navigate through them and watch them also. Alright, so I'll see you there, guys. So comment away on whatever suggestions you'd like. Now with the roll call. Proceratosaurus, Eutyrannus, Teratophonius, Tarbosaurus, Albertosaurus, Tyrannosaurus Rex, and of course the star of the show here, Moros Intrepidus. Well, it's now time for us to have the last looks on the Moros. The generic name is derived from the Greek Moros, an embodiment of impending doom, in reference to the establishment of the Tyrannosauroid lineage in North America. Moros is a genus of Tyrannosauroid theropod that lived during the late Cretaceous period in what is now known as Utah. It can grow up to a length of 3.9 feet, a weight of 78 kilograms. During the late Cretaceous period, the Moros actually is one of the symbiotic relationships with that of the Giganotosaurus by feeding off from its mouth, similar to that of how birds would act with crocodiles. Well, that's it for our video on the Moros Intrepidus. I hope you guys like it. Also, please don't forget to support our other channels, Toy Universe and The Adventures of Moira and Asher. Please like their videos, watch them, and also subscribe to their channel as well. And as we always would say, let your inner dad break roar! Thanks everyone!